Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Near Protocol. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that. Before watching this one, it's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Now, let's jump straight into the TA. And before we get into the video, I quickly want to mention Apex One AI. So this is a very interesting project that is based on AI technology and allows you to farm using crypto pairs. So they already have a platform out. They have their website, which we're on right now. The team is fully transparent, and some of the features are farming using artificial intelligence, using cryptocurrency pairs. You have liquidity pools, you have DeFi involved. You can take a look at their white paper. And if you want to take a look at their team, all of that is available on the website. And they also have a native token out already called Apex. And here is how the platform looks. The website is very well designed as well as the platform. It is easy to navigate. As you can see, if you go to Apex AI, you have farming, you have yield farming, and you have some of the new features that they're developing using the AI technology. So if you go to wallets, it's very easy to deposit and exchange cryptocurrencies using their application. So feel free to take a look at the link down below in the description. You can sign up using that. And if you have any more questions regarding the project, you can refer to the video that I made earlier, which is a full review of this platform. Now let's continue with the video. Taking a look at the daily chart here, as you can see, we are pulling back down, and we've been actually doing so for the past few days, and we actually dropped since our last update. So we dropped below the yellow support trend line, which was quite negative. I advised you on that, guys, and I told you that if we were going to drop below the trend line, which we did, we might back test it as resistance and then continue down lower. And we did both of those things exactly. We're still holding the top of this support block, which is good to see. This is a major support level for us. So $1.90 roughly is going to be a major level for us to hold. But as you can see, we're getting squeezed up in between a support level over here and a resistance level down below. So this is some sort of a symmetrical triangle here. If you go into the 4-hourly chart, it's probably going to be a bit better there, but we're going to be forced into some sort of a decision here. I would say anything below $2 is fairly cheap for the Near token, especially considering the targets that we have for the next bull market. These are very good buying opportunities. If you take a look at the low that we printed all the way back in January, or December, I should say, 2022, we're actually up, just slightly up 52% from that low, which is not a lot. We did, however, see a run up of 126% into that peak in February. So as long as we stay in this support block, we are good for continuation. As long as we don't drop below $1.54, I would not be stressing out. But if that does happen, that will probably mean that it's going to take a bit longer for us to recover. So if we do come back down to this area here, that's just going to mean that we're going to be in this accumulation phase for a bit longer, which is good for me because I will have an opportunity to buy my favorite altcoins at very cheap prices. But if you're looking for the continuation of the markets and you're looking to start making profits, then obviously you want to hold this support block and you want to continue on from here to the upside. So $1.54 is something that you absolutely need to hold. And I would not be advising opening up any short positions or long positions for that matter. And I don't do leverage trading at all. That is just a recipe for disaster. You can do that probably if you're experienced, but I just stay away from it altogether. That is not something that I'm interested in. I only do spot trading. So if we have a swing trade, then I'm going to mention that in the Patreon, and I'll tell you guys what I'm swing trading with. But for now, I wouldn't be selling any Near. Where you could have been selling is all the way up here, so at around about $2.25, which was a major resistance level for us. Now since that resistance got tested, we dropped back down approximately 20%, as you can see. We did go slightly higher, of course, and you can never catch the absolute top, but this was a good resistance level for us to be eyeballing. And right now you can buy back in if you did indeed take profits over there. But if you're looking for a swing trade and you're entering right now, you can target the exact same level. That would be a nice 17% move to the upside. You can also take a look at the major resistance level above us here. So we have obviously $2.23, and next up we have $2.66 or 67 cents. From where we are right now, that would be a 38% move to the upside. And that is basically retesting this resistance level that we back tested in January and in February. So that's something that you should be looking at if you're looking to swing trade. Now, overall, you can also add a major resistance level over here, as you can see, something like that. So we are in this, where we're breaking below this symmetrical triangle, as you can see. If I just change the colors, let's turn that into a different color. There we go. And let's say that would be purple. But yeah, that's just something that you can be looking at in terms of a swing trade. I'm not swing trading anything personally right now because we can, hop into an alt season very quickly, and I just don't want to miss out on all of that. So I'm better off just staking and holding my crypto on my ledger, on my decentralized wallets, and just waiting for the bull market to arrive. Now, taking a look at the daily RSI, if we look at this support, this was perfectly retested, as you can see. We had this set up many weeks ago, and I told you guys once you broke above this resistance here, you would have to come back down to retest it as support. That is exactly what we did over here. So this was an amazing buying opportunity. Still is, because you're still in the early phases of this bounce to the upside. I don't know if we're going to continue up much higher from here. If we do, you can take some profits if you want to do that, of course. If we end up coming back down one more time, obviously the pink trend line is an amazing entry. And you also have the blue support block here. So the blue support block is based off of this local low that we printed in June of 2021 and the local low that we printed in February of 2022. So that's sort of the average area you want to be looking at for a very good buying opportunity. Sometimes, as you can see, you are getting below that support block with these little fake outs. That's around about 25 on the RSI. You do retrace to that level usually once you're pulling below the support block. So that would be an even better entry. But of course, if you manage to catch that, then, buy in as much as you can, not a financial advice. Of course, if you're bullish on the Near Protocol project, then you'd be happy with the price going as low as possible so that you can enter at these great prices. Now, I'm gonna jump into the weekly chart. Taking a look at the weekly chart, so I'm going to take a fib retracement, and from this local low that we printed in December, I am going to extend the Fibonacci retracement all the way up to our all-time high price in January last year at $20, and we get our 1.618 target at $112. That's a bit too much for me. I would be more conservative, and I would be looking at $63 and $42 as the 1.414 and the 1.272 fibs respectively. Now, one thing that I did notice here is that right now we are in a descending broadening wedge. We were in a very similar pattern all the way back here, as you can see, but this was a larger pattern on the weekly chart. This is a smaller here pattern, but we ended up coming back down in this descending broadening wedge, and then we bounced off of this red support block, and we saw our bounce into the bull market basically. So the very same thing could happen over here, where you have the move to the upside, you start retracing back down in this broadening descending wedge, and then you bounce off the red block, and then you continue into the upside. Now, I'm not saying we're going to be reaching $40 or $60 because I cannot be certain of that. This is an assumption that we're going to be breaking the all-time high that we printed back in January of 2022. Now, there is no reason for us to assume otherwise, obviously, because pretty much every single altcoin will be breaking all-time high prices, in my opinion, except for Bitcoin Cash, Dash, and maybe Ethereum Classic. But yeah, those are the only altcoins that might not go over the all-time high prices. We'll see. I might be wrong. Let me know what you think of that. But as of right now, these are our targets for the next bull market. The golden ratio here is an important level for us to break. That's $7. So hopefully we can get there by the end of August or early September before we actually have the last sort of pullback this year, which I'm expecting is going to happen sometime in September, October, after we have our bull trap. So we start retracing into the summer. We have a major move to the upside. Everyone thinks we're back in the bull market, and then we have one last drop. And that drop can obviously take us all the way back down, 40-30%, no one knows. But that would be your sort of last buying opportunity before we kick off the bull market officially in 2024 after we get the Bitcoin halving, because once that happens, we typically just, soar. And I think we're going to be looking at $120,000 to $150,000 Bitcoin in 2025. So that's what I have for the weekly chart on NEAR. If we take a look at the 3-day chart, let me just quickly, can we do 3-day? There we go. There's the 3-day chart. As you can see, we have this resistance block that we broke above in December, and now we're looking to come back down as a support, to retest it as a support level. So in case we see a pullback and you see the RSI sitting somewhere in this orange or pink line, that's where you want to be dollar cost averaging, because as you can see, every single time previously, this was a resistance level for us. And once you break above a resistance, that typically turns into support. So when you come back down to it, you're going to see a bounce from there, right? And, not even mentioning the fact that you're going to be in the oversold at that point, just like you were over here, just like you were over here, and just like you were over here. So all of these points are great buying opportunities, especially this one in August of 2021. As you can see, we had that massive explosion into September. So something like this is what I would be expecting. For example, take a look at this low here. This is June 2022. We went all the way up into August, and we even had another local high in September. And that was 2022. If we take a look at 2021, let's see. So we had this move to the upside in September, and that was our local high. So that's why I'm saying that we might be looking at another bull trap in September/August, because pretty much every single year for the past 4 to 5 years, we've been seeing local highs during that time period. Now, taking a look at the stochastic on the 3-day chart, we are in a good buying opportunity here. The last time we were sitting here was back in March, early March. So this is definitely a good area to be dollar cost averaging. Once we drop, or once we come back up to the overbought, just like we did here at the end of April, or rather in the second part of April, that was a good area to take some profits. But really, these things are not that important if you're just buying for the long term. We're going to be looking at all of these on the weekly and the monthly charts when the time comes, because right now, as you can see, the weekly stochastic is very close to the overbought. So that's definitely somewhere an area that is for example, if you take a look at this over here, this was a great area to be dollar cost averaging since September all the way up until January of 2023. And if you managed to buy in there, you were sitting at massive profits here. So yeah, just pay attention to some of the indicators. The prices are still low. We're below the 20 EMA on the weekly. We're still good for averaging in, guys. You still have time. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to see you in the next one. Take care and goodbye.